Hey guys, we're doing our recap today of the small account challenge. So today was a mixed bag. Beginning of the day, I felt like things were very difficult. I had a few things that just didn't go my way in terms of getting stopped out by a few cents and or not following through the breakout and getting real close to a great trade and not taking any profit because, I was in that mid range of, I had maybe a 25-cent winner, but it was testing the whole dollar and was going to go through and then it would turn into a great trade potentially. And so I didn't take profit anyway. So there was a few things going on there initially. Initially there was, some issues going on, but all in all, I'm really happy with, even though those things were occurring and I was, getting a little bit internally frustrated, I kept my cool and managed my risk really well throughout the day. And, those trades that didn't work out, I took, as small of a loss as I could and then moved on to the next trade. And the result of it was that I had my best day so far in the small account. So, close to $1,800 today. Obviously after some commissions might be around 1,700, but I didn't overtrade and made sure that I, like I said, stuck to my principles and my strategy, and the result is there. And so this is our fourth green day this week, and we had a full green week last week, so we'll see how things go tomorrow. Tomorrow's Friday, the last day of the week, so we are potentially looking at another green week, but I'm not gonna, I know that the probability say at some point there has to be a red day, and how you react to that is going to determine how potentially the week goes. So I was conscious of that today as well, that things weren't going my way in my direction, and I was slightly red on the day. I think it was, I was like minus 250 or something like that. And, so I was thinking to myself, hey, you know what, if I have a couple more trades that just, aren't working out the way I would like them to, or, I have some unfortunate circumstances with them, then I might just shut up a shop and say, you know what, I'm just going to take the red day. So that was in the back of my head. And then, like I said, just being patient and waiting for the right setups, and it turned out, really positive today. So you can see that, the equity here. Account details. So on the start of the day it was 11.7, and today now it's at 13.5. And then, as we know, I've talked about that I've taken the 2,700 out that I started with. So the 13,500 is now all profit. And so if I added in the 2,700 to begin with, the account would be at about 16,200. So we haven't hit 2 months yet. Tomorrow, I believe, would be the two-month day and 2-month date. And so clearly, this is demonstrated that, throughout the small account, that, you can take a small account and grow it and get yourself to a point where now you have some leverage, and now you can start looking at, making greater profits per day. And, I think I'm going to continue to do the account challenge recaps and all that, but I probably will. We'll see how tomorrow goes, and I'm leaning towards taking a little bit more of the account for the reasons that we talked about prior, about making sure we keep the sizing, slow as we bring it back, bring the account size up, and I've overall felt like I've been able to really hone in on my skill set a bit more by doing the small account challenge. That was part of the reason why I did it, right? And so lots of positives, and you're never complete as a trader, and there's always things to work on, and that's why I wanted to do this, and so we're seeing those results come through. I think in particular this week and last week, things have gone really, really well, and that was in response to having an unfortunate circumstance with a a red day, and that's also a really great positive reflection to come to, is that things can go bad, but it's how you respond and how you internalize things, and that's going to dictate the longer term road here. So in terms of trades themselves today, so let's start with one of the ones that just didn't work in my favor because like I said, I had a poor circumstance of luck. So I was watching AFRM here. This was an IPO from yesterday, and we've talked about IPOs and kind of how they have the potential to be strong and stuff like that. So I was looking here. You can see this consolidation, right, sideways. So it pushed up after it opened today and made a decent move, and then consolidated sideways. And you have this 110.50 area that I was struggling to break over, right? And so I ended up getting long. Yeah, I got long for the break here on this candle at 110.50. It was spready, and the difference between the bid and the ask was quite a large amount, between 50 cents and $1. So, you get filled and you fill higher up past the breakout point, right? So I got filled, and then I set my stop for, let me see if I can pull it out on the 1 minute here. Yeah, this is where it was. So I set my stop, and I'm just going to get rid of this so it's not confusing. So we can see that this is the breakout here, right? Broke out all the way up to 111.70, right? This 1 minute candle is 2 points, right? So that's where managing the risk can be a little harder on something like this. So I mean, I was a little bit annoyed with it, but I wouldn't say it was unexpected that I got stopped at. So it started to break out, right? And we can see I've gone, I have kind of some circumstances that I try to set my stop for. So anyways, based on this, right, we had a low of 109.50 on this candle, on the breakout candle. Then it tested 109.38, and then 109.50 again. So I had my stop set for 109.37 because it's trying to hold 109.50, right? And I thought about putting my stop at 109. And, I was like, I don't want to get caught on it dropping, a point below that as well. And so I set my stop for 109, 109. Yeah. So then I see it drop to 109.04, and that stopped me out here, right? And then again, 109.49, it hit here. And then right after that, it held and just started to push up, and it pushed, it came back here to a low of 110.60, but still stayed above the breakout point, which is here, right? 110.50. So we can say breakout point was 110.50, stop was 109 here. So I got stopped out by, I'm pretty sure it was, I don't know, 10 cents. And then this one ended up running all the way to 119 from 110.50. So the 9-point move, right? You can see this candle just volume came in and exploded upwards, and it really started to move. And actually, I think it kept running all afternoon. It ended up going all the way up to 138 from 110. So that was from this initial breakout here, and you can see it just continued upwards. And so, the difference in a 30, said 138, right, from 110. So a difference of a 28-point move was a 10-cent stop difference. So that's where you can be like, come on, man, like, really, I had to get it wrong, but that small of an amount. But that's kind of the luck of the draw sometimes, and so that was frustrating, but the analysis was right. And it was an IPO that could potentially start to move and had a lot of potential. And so I took the trade and just didn't work out in my favor, but that's okay. And then I traded GME. So this one today, um, base sideways, right? This was the one that moved up a ton yesterday. Didn't sell off, base sideways. It sold a little bit at the open and then started to base sideways, held the lows, and then started, trending upwards. And so you can see the pivot here at 37 pretty much. This came up and broke through to 37.24 and then pulled back. So I initially got long for this breakout over 37 because I was thinking, oh, it's sideways. And then I ended up getting stopped out initially, and then I had to go back in because I still liked the way this was set up. It was consolidating still, didn't break down. And then you can see from 37, it moved all the way to 43, 6-point move in 5, 10, 15 minutes. I didn't think it was going to make that big of a move that fast, so I took profit on the way up, and I would have liked to have been holding a few more shares as it was continuing higher, but I got out there, and then we can see it volume topped, and it's pulled back since then. So, and I had no shares to short. There were no shares available, or else I would have taken that short. But I did think this had the potential to run up towards pre-market highs, and then potentially break through them. But I didn't think it was going to happen that fast. So I was looking for it to push higher, kind of test pre-market, pull back, and get back in, and I would have jumped on another trade. So I did make a good return on that trade, but I felt like I was looking for multiple opportunities on it, and if I had held 500 shares a little bit longer, and then held half a little bit longer, obviously the profits would have increased on that one. But it was a nice move nonetheless. Again, a pretty good read. What else were we trading? So I did try to trade Plug again. Don't like this stock. So this one, it's such a difficult trader, and so you can see it came down here and it double bottomed, right? And then it pushed right up off the double bottom. And so I tried to get in here a few times, but you can see, look at this big candle here, right? From 65.87 to 67.45, and then real big wick that got bought right back up. And so it's moves like that make it difficult to trade this stock, because it can have a sharp pull and get bought back up, but you don't know if it's going to get bought back up, and you don't want to get stuck holding and hoping. So that these wicks tend to stop you out, and it's not always a clean trader when I'm talking about PLUG. So I'm probably going to try to stay away from this one. It's been really, really solid overall. I might look at swing trading it, or maybe taking with a swing trade, I can take a little less size and let it move within a range a bit more, and allow it to work through its process a bit. So that's probably a better idea. And I think the game is moving a little bit, so let's see what that's doing. Yeah, so I could see, so I saw the level 2 not on this window, but I saw the level 2 in the orders flow going through here, because I have it on another window. If I pull it over here, so I had this open, and I saw some orders coming through. The flow of orders looked very green, meaning buyers were coming in, and the volume seemed to be picking up, and you can see that here. So it's breaking out, and this one has a tendency to move quite well. So we'll see what this one does. It might be a late day runner. I doubt I'll be trading again. Like I said, I've had my best day in my account, so what's the point, right? But you can see that this has been a pretty strong pattern. It consolidates, pushes, consolidates, pushes. So that's what we tend to look for, or I tend to look for when I'm looking for breakouts, is the consolidation, and then that volume and the price movement coming in, and that tells me, okay, that was an inflection point that we were really concerned about. So yeah, those are just some of the examples of the trades today, and some of the recap. It's been a journey, but you know, those small steps daily that we've talked about many times before is what makes people get better at trading. And you know, reviewing yesterday, I reviewed my trades, and I went over some of my trades to kind of see where my stops should have been and where, if they were, and you know, tried to translate that today, and you know, maybe that may have benefited me in the result that I got was the assessment, and then you know, seeing things clearly on the go, on the fly. So you know, there's going to be a red day that comes up, but it's understanding that you know, the green days are more frequent than the red days, and now we're seeing some higher profit green days as well. So that, you know, those are the key concepts to remember. And so we had a good day today, and tomorrow is the last day of the week, and hopefully we can continue on the trend.